a basic consciousness. Ashanga's theory was further studied by his younger stepbrother Vasubandhu and systematized most skillfully into the Trinshika part of the text Biggopti Matrota Siddhi. In this treatise, the nature of Alaya Viggana was revealed in its entirety. Explanation of the term Alaya Viggana. About the explanation of this term, we have in the Tibetan edition of Panchaskandha that it is called Alaya Viggana because it is the receptacle of all seeds. Secondly, because it is the object of clinging to personal existence consisting in the conceitful concept of the self, and because it sticks to or hides in the body. Tad alayoir gyanottam sarvo bijalayotam atmo bhavo alayo nimittotam kaya layonatam cha upadayo. Now, I must say that this Sanskrit which I am quoting manifest themselves with this consciousness as the basis. I have already referred to Trinshika of the Biggopti Matrota Siddhi as the text where the notion of Alaya Viggana has been explained elaborately. Now, Sthiromati is one of the commentators of this text Trinshika. There were other commentaries on this Trinshika. Unfortunately, none of these commentaries are available yet. Though at the time of Yuan Sang, when Yuan Sang came to India, he found that there were 7 commentaries on this text.
States that do the concept are processed by the subject, capture the fine-grained details of the experience that take place at a particular moment and in a specific time context. Non-conceptualists claim that the perceptual experience with non-conceptual content is phenomenologically more fine-grained than the content of perceptual experience with concept as its constituents. For them, we do not need to put any extra effort in order to make our perceptual experience phenomenologically fine-grained by invoking concept in the content of perception. The non-conceptualist account of perception would imply that all the conceptual states of our mind fail to be as subjective and phenomenal as the non-conceptual states are. How is then the phenomenal character of consciousness related to the non-conceptual content? It seems on the one hand
that is a modification of the term secular we should look at in the concept of the modern day world, where the mainstream secularism would almost put anything to do with religion in outside the ambit of the public sphere or schools or education, whereas here I would think that now is the need that we invoke or provoke people to look at these processes and at least to initiate them into this
construction and the overcoming of embodied ways of seeing the world. In fact, both propose through methodic investigation of the way we cognize to resolve the post-fundamental human problems. For the Buddhists, the root cause of all human problems lies in ignorance. That is the miscognition and misperception of the things as they become, yatha bhutam. Buddhist practice provides methodic and rigorous attention to the faculty of experience. Cognitive acuity is sharpened through meditation and epistemological rigor to effective and ethical betterment. Buddhism aims at this point in removing and deep-seated proclivities, anusaya, views, drishti, and mental disturbances, they are kleshas, which hinder correct cognition and produce binding karma, and removing these obstructions is awakening. Many of the Buddhist doctrines or models are phenomenological in nature. They are concerned with noetic constitution, how we cognize, and the construction of meaning. An effort made in this paper to explain and examine this aspect of Buddhist phenomenology with reference to Yogacara position. This is because majority of the Buddhologists treated Yogacara as unique school as it concentrates on novel concepts associated with it, namely like eight consciousness, alaya vijnana, trisvabhava, and vignapti marga. For the Buddhist, the ideal of the salvation of all sentient beings is regarded as the higher aspect of Buddhist teachings. The word sentient refers to have senses, to feel, to perceive, and to cognize. Now the question is how to interpret and respond the things that we have perceived, cognized, and felt. In fact, there is no thought, feeling, idea, memory, or knowledge of any kind that doesn't come to us .
This philosophy helps the human beings all over the world to bring peace, harmony, and spirituality in social and personal lives. There are some objective of the study, so methods. So I escaped the time of the shortage. So my findings. What is the findings of this paper, Buddhist approach to build peaceful, harmonious, and sustainable society? My findings are, I drawn a chart. Basically, my paper based on this chart. So here, human life is full of sorrows and sufferings. Buddha uttered that there are some causes of sufferings of which can be identified as root of sorrows. According to Buddha, sufferings can be denoted as greed, ignorance, and hatred. Buddha advised some rules and principles that can help alleviate sufferings. The principles of getting freedom for sufferings are known as 5 precepts. 4 sublimes, 8-fold part, as I mentioned before, 10 noble virtues source, Dasavida Rajadhamma. One can expect about a peaceful, harmonious, and sustainable society only we practice these rules which have been advised by Buddha. At first, Buddhist perspective, the 5 precepts and sustainable society. These are the 5 precepts means abstain from killing any living life, abstain from taking other things without permission, abstain from doing sexual misconduct, abstain from telling lies, abstain from drinking alcohol and drugs. Buddha advised these teachings to follow in order to lead a peaceful, prosperous, and happier life. These 5 principles help us to build a beautiful
There is evidence that he wrote that first. Again, in Bodhicharya Avatara, we can read that he is referring to Shiksha Samuchaya. So, some authors are saying that this is a later addition to the text, but it is not. So that is what my master paper is on that one. I say Shiksha Samuchaya is the prime because one of the Vietnamese student working with me for PhD, a Buddhist nun, is working on Shiksha Samuchaya on Dana Param. So we are reading the text with her these days, Sanskrit souls. So we are hidden things are coming out because of our study. Shiksha Samuchaya. Shantideva, but something on Shantideva. Shantideva, according to Buddhist tradition, Bhutan's historian Bhutan, Tibetan, Shantideva was son of King Kalyanavarman of Saurashtra. And you know, Gujarat was a center of Buddhist learning. And Gujarat, Saurashtra, Sindh had a dominant Buddhist community where there was a Buddhist monastery. Today you don't see anything of that sort. Saurashtra. He renounced his future kingship, fled to Nalanda, where Professor Godavari Mishra is, and took up monastic life. Shantideva flourished during the period spanning the end of between emotion and reasoning to tell right from wrong. The first,
Social development evolves as a result of their interactions within this relationship. Effective communication is a crucial skill in navigating any relationship. Nowadays, we know there is everywhere the concept like non-violent communication. People are discussing. So this is very important, that rather than giving the same kind of doing the same kind of behavior, sometimes if you can wait for a moment and if you can think, automatically you can give a good reply, I think. So the one goal of empathetic communication is to help others.
Mind, irrespective of anybody they are there. Then the multifaceted functions of mind, the active and passive characteristics of mind that are exposed here. So I got this from a text, Essential Buddhism by Pathega Jnanaram Thero, and the text actually bases on the primary sources. So according to that, it gives this mind is a continuation of functions of mind. So it gives pleasure, propitiates, and conveniences. So you can read Pali Aradhyati. It stretches forth, holds out, takes up, exerts and strains vigorously, and applies in relation to its objects. Paggannath. Then it disposes, collects, brings together, heaps up, gathers, arranges, and so on. And it bends, directs, and applies. It springs forward, jumps onto, takes to, and rejoices in its objects. It calms down and quietens. It agitates, another function. Disturbs, crushes, harasses, and upsets the individual. still continues. It shakes, unsettles, wavers, and is in doubt. That's the nature of mind. It compathy. It holds back, obstructs, restrains, and forbids, disturbs. It can strike, kill, destroy, and beat down. It aspires, longs for, prays, and intends. It clings to whatever it falls on and gets tied up with objects. It defiles, corrupts, and tarnishes, damages. It is also drawn to objects, feels attached to, inclined towards, and indulges in objects. And let's talk about the negative and positive aspects of mind according to, as exposed in the suttas. The intrinsic nature of mind is that's the bound and sort of qualities that the mind has. It's difficult to control. Its tendency to appease and indulges in sensual pleasures, and its weakness, and it has power. It has power when it's controlled. When the mind is controlled, it has power that can bring happiness when it is restrained. So this is from the Chittavagga of Dhammapada, from 33 to 36 verses. The intrinsic nature of mind again, the mind travels long journeys. This is from an oft referred verse. It travels alone. Durangamang ekataran. It lives in a cave. Asariran guhasayam. Those who subdue this, control this, restrain this mind are liberated from those bonds of Mara, the evil one. Yes, chittan sanyamittanti mokkanti mara bandhanam. That's from Dhammapada, verse 37. Then swiftness of mind. This from Lahu Parivatta Sutta Samhita Nikaya. Anguttara Nikaya. So there's no phenomenon that comes and goes so swiftly as mind. The Buddha exposes. Mind is so quick to change that it cannot be compared to any single thing in the world. The Buddha, who analyzes the mind into various aspects, even with Dhamma, as corrects me. Okay, so the Buddha himself said that he doesn't know any simile that can be compared to talk about the swiftness of mind. Mind changes so swiftly. There's no any simile to compare the swiftness. So psychological trances of mind. Mind is constantly flickering, fickle, throbbing, trembling, and wavering. Fandanan chapalan chittang duraktan dunivaryam ujjum karoti medhavi usukaro tejana. That is also from Dhammapada. So Dhammapada is one of the texts from Kuttaka Nikaya. So ethical arduousness, difficulty with regard to control of mind. That's also from Dhammapada. So mind is extremely difficult to be protected and difficult to be saved from falling into moral lapse or deterioration. Naturally, it quivers like a fish out of water. And so the Pali is there. Varijova thalogitte oka